Hi, everybody. This is JJ Long from JJArtworks, and welcome to episode 68 of our podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. In this week's episode, this is going to be sort of a different toned episode. I want to talk about customer service, and specifically bad customer service. I'm actually in a situation right now where I'm experiencing bad customer service from a company that I'm buying from. And I think it's important to talk about because as artists and creative entrepreneurs, we're sort of building our own creative empires. I know we all strive to have really good customer service in our own businesses. So when I come across a company that I'm working with or I'm a consumer buying a product or service from someone else and I receive bad customer service, first of all, I'm kind of thrown off. And then second of all, I'm like, okay, so this is what not to do in my business. And that's exactly what I'm sort of going through right now. So today might be a little bit of a longer video. Today you might hear me venting a little bit because I'm a little frustrated with something, but I'm going to share with you the story that I'm currently unraveling, and I want to share with you how I sort of solved it. So basically, and actually, well, I'll get into this in a second, but I actually have a friend that's going through a similar situation with the same company. And I'm going to list a few different names without completely, throwing people under the bus. But it's very interesting when I see bigger companies kind of failing. And I don't know what it's like to be a super huge, multi-million-dollar company with a lot of people and systems, but I can only imagine that, there's got to be a better way to systematize things. But let me get into it. So basically, before the turn of the new year, I was running off prints, some matted fine art prints for a big project I was doing. And what happened was halfway through the printing process, my Canon printer died. And it was a Pixma Canon printer. I had it for maybe 5 or 6 years. And I was like, oh God, this really sucks. I need to meet this deadline for tomorrow because I needed to make a delivery the following night. And what I decided to do was I ordered a printer last minute from Best Buy. And I was hoping that I'd be able to pick up the printer the next day, and I'd be able to crank out some prints. And it was kind of like a last-ditch effort, but I kind of rolled the dice, and I was like, let's see if this works. And I was like, if I'm going to get a new printer, I want to get like a better printer. So I'm a big fan of Epson. I used to have like a really nice Epson stylus printer back in the day. I think it was like a stylus 2200 printer. Really nice. I could print on canvas paper, and I actually stretched my own canvas prints and everything. So it was a really, really high quality printer. I think it took like 7 or 8 inks. It was crazy. It was like magenta, light magenta, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I was like, you know what, if I'm going to spend some money on a printer, I want to get a nice printer so I do have the ability to do more canvas stretching and I can do, wider format prints. So I decided to get an Epson EcoTank printer. It's the Epson 8550 printer. And I'm not familiar with the EcoTank inks, but it sounds like you're able to get a higher yield per ink cartridge. And what sucked was, and these things always happen to me, but literally the night that my printer died, I had gone out to Staples like a couple hours beforehand, and I spent like $100 on like 5 new ink cartridges for my Canon printer. And then of course I was like 50 prints in, and then all of a sudden my Canon printer died. So it's like I kind of ate $100 worth of ink. I'm like, come on, man, this sucks. So anyways, long story short, I was going online, I was checking out Amazon, then I came across Best Buy, and I'm like, okay, cool. So they have this in stock. There's like 1 left. And I'm like, but I'm going to order it. It says I can pick it up tomorrow, first thing in the morning. So anyways, I click on add to cart. I order the printer. And then the next morning, I get something saying your printer is being delayed or your order is being delayed. We'll let you know as soon as possible when it's available for pickup. And, at this point in time, it was the holidays. I think it was right before Christmas. So things were kind of crazy, if you're a retail store. So I totally get it. I was it was probably like, I probably should have done some more due diligence with research, and it was like the last unit on the shelf, so maybe they considered that the store model. I have no idea. So I did get an automated email saying, your printer's going to be delayed. I'm like, oh, this sucks. So luckily I had a backup printer at my art studio in Lawrence. Not the best printer, but I was able to drive to Lawrence, pick up the printer, come back to Lowell, run off a bunch of prints, and I was able to finish the print project for the holidays. So I did meet my deadline. But now it's like I'm waiting for this printer that I just spent hundreds of dollars on, and I really want it, because if you're an artist and you make a lot of prints, I look at, I rely on my printer so much that I sort of look at it like a vehicle, so like if I don't have a car, I feel like naked and alone, and I feel fragile. So when I don't have like a fine art printer, I'm like, it's like a necessity. I need it because that's how I make money. That's how I make images of my prints or images of my paintings, and I'm able to make consistent income. So I'm like, I really need to get a printer. So it's like a very big priority for me. I've always had a printer, kind of like I've always had a sound booth wherever I go. If you're an artist, you have certain things that you rely on and that you need to continue doing your craft. So having a printer is very important to me. So a couple of days go by, and I'm just kind of busy. It's still the holidays. I'm getting ready for the new year, and I just have a million things going on, and I didn't have a lot of printing projects lined up. So I was like, I can spend a couple of days and just work on other projects. So a couple days go by, still haven't heard anything from Best Buy. Ironically enough, my friend Heather, who's also an artist and she's a writer, we talk via email and everything, and she was excited because she got a new printer that she ordered, a new laptop that she ordered from Best Buy, and she's like, it's been delayed. And I'm like, same with me. I just ordered a printer and it's been delayed. And she's like, yeah, I'm like, customer service is really bad. Like, I haven't gotten any notification emails. I call customer service. They don't know what's going on. They can't give me any information. And I was like, wow, I can't believe that's happening to you as well. So I did contact customer service 3 times. One of the things I can't stand is when you can't contact the store directly. So, and I know Best Buy is a huge company, and I use them all the time for little things here and there, like cables and, cartridges and things like that. But this is my first big purchase that I've made through Best Buy in the past couple of years. I think maybe the last big purchase I made from them was a TV, but literally I just went inside to the store, bought the TV, and left. But this was something that I decided to order online, and I was hoping I could just pick it up, and it didn't work out. But anyways, can't call the store directly, so I call the 1-800 number. I get routed to India or something, and they're like, I'm so sorry that you're experiencing a delay. Let me check on the status. They can only pretty much see what I can see, and they're like, well, it looks like your printer's been delayed, and and I'm like, well, can you guarantee if it's going to be in at a certain point in time, because I really kind of need it, and this is how I'm running my business, blah blah blah. And they couldn't really give me any information. They're like, you should be getting it within the next 24 hours, and you will get an automated email. If you don't get it in your inbox, make sure you check your spam folder. I'm like, okay, cool. 24 hours goes by, did not get any such email. I went to my spam folder, couldn't find anything. Got really busy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to sit on it for another day or so. Maybe I'll get an email. Didn't get an email. At this point in time, getting a little frustrated because it's been about a week now. So I tend to sometimes go online and go on the online chat boxes. And I was chatting with someone live from customer service on the website. And again, they're like, oh, do you have the model number? I'm like, yeah, here you go, blah, blah, blah. They come back to me and they're like, yeah, so it looks like your printer's been delayed. Really sorry. And I'm like, well, can you give me any status on, can you give me an idea of when it's coming? Is it coming in a couple days? Is it coming in a week? Has it been discontinued? Blah, blah, blah. Couldn't give me any information. They're like, you want to call this 1-800 number and they can help you out. End of chat. End of chat. Nothing like, I'm really sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, oh my God, like no one knows anything. And they make it very easy with Best Buy to cancel your order. So it's almost like they're anticipating that you're going to be displeased, or they already know that they're so overwhelmed that there's a good chance you just might want to cancel your order. And there was that, like in the email, it's like, hey, in the welcome email, or like, congratulations, you ordered a printer. We can't wait to fulfill the order for you, blah, blah, blah. Like the next thing down is like, if you need to cancel your order for any reason, click on this button. And they make it super easy to cancel, but as far as their customer service, it's impossible to get really good customer service from them. It's almost like they're trying to avoid you, which is the most bizarre thing. So anyways, I was very, very frustrated. And meanwhile, they have like $800 for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this wasn't exactly a cheap printer, and they have the money, and they're taking their time getting back to me, and they're leaving me in the dark. They can't give me any answers. So Staples, on the other hand, who I use all the time, that's where I get a lot of my ink and paper and blah, blah, blah. I go on their website, and the only reason I didn't go to Staples in the beginning, because I do like Staples over Best Buy for a lot of things. The reason I didn't go to them in the beginning is because they had nothing in stock at the time that I originally bought the printer. And I'm like, oh, that stinks. And they were like, we have these printers, but they won't be back in stock until Friday. And this was like a Tuesday that my printer died. So I'm like, well, Best Buy says they have one in stock, so I'll just pick it up tomorrow at their location. So at the time, I chose Best Buy for convenience and the speed of things. Now, Staples was like, yeah, we have one, an Epson Eco Tank in stock, but they only have one in stock. So this time I was smart, and I called up Staples, and I'm like, hey, I was just calling to see if you have a particular product in stock. Could you let me know, if this is available? And he's like, yeah, let me just double check. If it's the last one, it could be the store model, and I'm sure you don't want that. So let me just double check. So he comes back 2 seconds later, and he was like, yeah, we absolutely have this in stock. It includes the inks, blah, blah, blah. Not only that, you guys, but it was like $150 cheaper than the one at Best Buy. So for the same exact model. And I'm like, thank you so much for taking the time to actually go into the aisle and make sure it's there for me. And I'm like, because I'm dealing with a horrible experience with Best Buy. And he's like, yeah, he was like, I've heard a lot of things about them lately. I'm like, interesting. So long story short, I just ordered the same exact print from Staples. I'm picking it up today. And I already canceled my order at Best Buy. That was probably the easiest thing I ever did. Literally, the intro email that they gave me, like, congratulations with your order or order confirmation. I hit that cancel button, and it was like 2 clicks. It was like, all right, your order's been canceled. We'll refund your card whenever, blah, blah, blah. I'm waiting to see when that happens. It takes 30 days to refund my card or whatever. But anyways, long story short, sorry, this is a complete rant. I'm totally venting today. But, customer service goes a long way with me. There's been times in the past as well, and don't even get me started on mail carriers. We'll have to save that for another epic hour-long podcast episode. But I've had horror stories with different mail carriers, and I've tried every mail carrier for the paint party business. And I'm at a point now where if someone has really good customer service and they're treating me with respect, I have no problem spending more money for that company's respect and really good customer service. That's how I roll. Prices, I'm very price conscious. I'm always trying to save pennies here and there when I can. But at the end of the day, I want a company that's reliable, someone that's going to treat me with respect and treat me like a human being and not a number. And unfortunately, Best Buy is treating me like a number. I don't even think they're treating me like a number. They're treating me like, I don't know, something has no value. I have no idea. But I think it's important that we acknowledge all of these situations. And I always look at things as a learning experience and as a way to kind of help me grow, more so than a challenge or an obstacle, because it's helping me decide the type of company that I want to be and the type of customer service I want to have for our patrons and everything. So it's a very, very great learning tool, I think, when I go through something difficult like this. And I'm just grateful that there's other companies out there that have good customer service that can kind of bail me out of a situation. So thank you, Staples. Best Buy, you suck. And I hope you're all having a great start to your new year. If this is your first time visiting our YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button below. We are a group of artists and creative entrepreneurs that are building our own creative empire, and we want to support those artists and creative entrepreneurs that are building their own creative empires. And we want to do that through sharing our own stories and our perspective on things and the lessons that we've learned over the years. And I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. We truly, truly appreciate it. And just keep pushing forward with your dreams and goals in life. Do not give up. Keep practicing the art of showing up. And I'll talk to you guys next week in episode 69. Thank you guys so much for letting me vent today. And I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.